But, the question is, what's going to get us first? A pandemic or global warming?
Well, we're teetering on a... Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg Podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our savage take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Yo, what up?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of...
The SaVeg Podcast.
Thank you, Rose.
You did not match my energy in the beginning there.
I didn't. Shall we start it again?
Yo.
We back with the SaVeg Podcast.
We back.
Back.
Okay. Guys, what up?
How's it going? How are you feeling?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
On the verge of a breakdown.
God damn. Let me guess, you're busy.
I'll be busy as hell.
Damn, I think our listeners are sick of hearing you
I
say
know.
how busy you are, Rose.
I need to move to a cottage.
Yeah. You need to isolate and
I need to live the Into the Wild sort of, you know that book, that guy that lived in the wild
the one
by
with,
himself that died.
Emil Hirsch or something that
I don't know his name. Yeah, there was a book and then a movie.
Into the Wild. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I heard about it, and I think I started reading the book and I got bored. But basically, he goes into the wild, okay, and then he's like, "I'm gonna live in isolation." Well, not necessarily in isolation, but in the wild,
off
by
grid.
himself, off grid.
Yeah.
And I think he died.
And that appeals to you to live off grid?
Well, it sounds great until he dies. I don't know. No, it doesn't appeal to me.
Didn't he die because did he have an illness or something, or did he die?
Something like that.
Maybe that's
idea.
why he went off grid.
I don't think so. He was young.
I can't remember. That doesn't mean anything.
I think he was living off this is what I think I heard. I could be wrong. But he went off. He wanted to live, off grid. Went off, and then if you're living in the wild, it's dangerous because you're eating random stuff that you can find, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he ate something random.
And it made him sick.
I think.
Those of you that have watched the film, guys, can you let us know how he dies?
How he dies? Oh my god. Okay, let me just quickly Google this. I'm very curious now.
Yeah, I'm actually
Into the Wild death. Okay. So his name was Christopher Johnson McCandless. Okay. And let's see. He was born in 1968 in California, died in 1992. So he wanted to live a nomadic lifestyle. Okay. And I just want to see his death. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, I guess. Oh, wait. It says they found McCandless decomposing remains in a sleeping bag. It is theorized. Oh, I guess so they don't know that he died from starvation. Okay, it was starvation.
That's crazy.
Oh, God. Can you imagine dying of starvation?
Oh, God.
Anyways, I guess nobody knows for sure.
Yeah.
But apparently starvation. I mean, that'll happen, right? You're in the wild, it's hard to find food and shit.
That's very true. And it's not like we can just eat
and
random shit.
Exactly, because again, you could die from being poisoned.
Yeah, from poisonous berries or something.
Exactly.
So that'd be scary.
Anyway, that's not the life I want.
No.
But the older I get, the more I'm just I just want to just live
retire in a cottage.
And go on an adventure a couple times a year. I wouldn't be happy just doing that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think I crave the relaxation because I don't do enough of it. But then I'm thinking, if I only relax, would I not get bored?
You would. And you would crave the excitement.
Exactly. So
I
can't have it all.
As someone that spent 3 months in isolation.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that it's fun for the first couple of days. And then after a while.
Or a month. No?
Yeah, maybe. No, probably 2 weeks. It was fun.
Okay. 2 weeks. That's a good time.
Yeah, because it was I relaxed. I could do whatever I wanted. And then after a while, I was like,
you've done enough relaxation.
Yeah, I'm I need to get out of this place.
Yeah. Oh, guys, we're going to have a drink. Because, here's the thing. We're going to, after this, record. We're going to do a 2-episode night as we do.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel's very excited to talk to me for the next 2 hours.
I'm tired.
But We're going to do our May exclusive, our Patreon exclusive. If you don't know, we have I'm sure you know, okay? We say it every time, but we have a Patreon page where basically you join and it's water. Yeah. Anyways, you join and, you become part of our Patreon family. Yeah. And every month we do an exclusive episode just for Patreon, okay?
And what we be talking about today, Rose?
I think we're going to talk shit about some YouTubers.
We're going to spill a little bit of tea.
We're probably not going to say names, okay? No. So I'm not going to,
We're not going to name and shame. We're going to leave it up to our Patreon family's vivid imaginations. But we're just going to talk about some
people that we met.
Yeah, some of the few people that we've met over the years that were YouTubers. Some of them quite big YouTubers now.
Some of them, yes.
So
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll spill some tea of some stories. I think we're going to talk some stories.
Oh,
so if you guys want to listen, you can join our Patreon. We're not going to put this in the public because, that's too much drama for me to handle.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so Patreon, patreon.com/the SaVeg podcast. So for the month of June, though, we're holding payments. So you won't be charged for June because we're taking the month of June off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Then so it restarts in July.
Exactly. Yeah. So you could join now. And you won't be charged in June because you'll be spilling. You won't be charged in June because we're taking June off, but the payments will restart in July. And you can go back to our archives. We have so many Patreon exclusives.
So many episodes on there, guys.
And some juicy ones. Yeah. So check it out. Cheers, Daniel.
Cheers.
We're going to drink.
This one's actually quite nice, like lemonade.
Yeah. So we're drinking because we want to.
Well, and also, guys, to take a side step. So we're obviously
a side step. What are we doing? We pivoted?
We're pivoting. No, but another reason that we're drinking as well is we have our exclusive that we're doing, which we're gonna have some beverages.
Yes. So we decided we'll have one while we're doing.
We're pre-gaming
for the exclusive.
For the exclusive. And then also for those of you that don't know, I mean, it's not really me and Rose don't really follow this at all, so it's not a thing. But right now is a really everyone's super excited in Calgary because
I was what are you talking about?
So Calgary and Edmonton are rival cities. If you're not from Alberta, you don't know. There's been a rivalry between them. I don't know why, but there just is.
Let me give more context.
Okay.
So we live in Calgary, which is a city in Canada, guys. Okay. Canada, I feel you need to give more context.
True. We have a lot of international listeners.
Exactly. You can't just talk like they know what we're talking about. So we live in Calgary and Alberta is our province. So the city of Calgary is in Alberta. Now there's two major cities in Alberta called Calgary and Edmonton. And right now there is a hockey situation going on.
I was getting there, Rose.
I know, but you tend to do this where, it's because you're not a YouTuber like me,
Oh, yeah, true.
You're just not
I'm not a
YouTube
sensation.
You gotta explain. You gotta give context.
Okay,
Anytime you explain.
So that's perfect context. Thank you, Rose. So the two big cities are about 3 hours apart driving, and there's a rivalry. Anyway, we both have hockey teams. We have the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, and I guess I didn't realize this, but I guess it's been 31 years since Calgary and Edmonton were both in the playoffs, the hockey playoffs,
at the same time,
together and facing each other. So what happened is we've already finished, I guess it's game one, from before. Calgary won theirs, Edmonton won theirs. And everyone was freaking out that this was going to happen because then they're oh my God, we're going to play each other.
Right.
And that's what's happened. So now I
didn't even know that.
We're calling it's being dubbed the Battle of Alberta. So
oh God.
I know.
I could care less.
But also in Calgary, there's an area that they call the Red Mile, which is 17th Ave. They shut it down, and it's just everyone's just drinking in the street and stuff. And I might go later.
I think you will go.
I haven't decided yet. So
I think you will go later.
We'll see.
Yeah, so that's happening.
Yeah.
Although, I don't watch hockey, so I don't know. But I'll go for beverages maybe, but probably not tonight.
No.
Probably not. But we'll see after a few of these.
You might get convinced. You might sway.
I mean, I don't need much swaying after a couple of drinks.
That's true. I think, Yeah, so that's what's happening, guys. Exciting.
I feel very I don't know about other people living in different cities, but I feel very disconnected from the culture of this city. Not sports, Calgary.
Yeah.
Calgary culture, Calgary, activities. I feel I'm not very, I don't know. I don't watch hockey. I don't care for Flames. Great if we win. I don't do, I don't play, I don't go snowboarding.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting, Rose. You need
Maybe
to get
that's
more
why I
into
like leaving, you know?
Maybe you need to get more involved in the community.
You know the best way that I can get involved in the community?
Is leaving?
By traveling.
Just get out of here and leave.
Exactly.
So, well, you are leaving soon.
Oh my God, you guys. Should I say it?
Yeah, I think you should say it.
Did I say it last time?
I don't know if you did say it. I think we did
You
say
guys. Oh, I think maybe we did talk about
yeah,
it.
We did.
Okay, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Rose is
I'm going to
the,
London.
to the UK.
Woohoo!
Rose is...
You guys, if you are listening to the audio version, you have to watch the video version because the faces that Daniel makes at me.
Are they like, oh my God, that reminds me. Okay, we
What?
do have to talk about that TikTok that I sent you.
Oh my God. Okay,
Because-
this is so true and
Yeah.
I cannot continue.
Okay, you cannot continue.
No, I cannot. Please continue.
Basically, I saw this TikTok because like Rose is always like, Daniel, like you're really like sassy and shady as well. And then I like saw this TikTok and it's so accurate because it was like this lady. Was it a lady or
No, it was a gay guy.
Oh yeah, it was a gay guy, and he was like, he's like, yeah, you know, it's so funny. I can just be like such a bitch and no one cares. Everyone's just like, yes, queen, slay. Even though I'm like, that girl's a fucking bitch. So, yes, queen, say what's on your mind.
It's so true. You guys,
Yeah.
it's such a double standard. Gay men, especially gay men, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work with lesbians.
I don't
does
think
it?
so, no.
No. Specifically gay men can get away with being No, basically he was like this. He said this. He was like, a lot of people say that I'm like super, you know, they think I'm nice and I'm just
Yeah.
sassy and stuff, but really I'm just mean.
Yeah.
But because he's gay and he's a gay man, he can get away with it, and people think it's just, you know,
Him
you
being sassy, yeah.
but in like a quirky, cute, like,
Yeah.
you know, funny, gay way, you know. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why Daniel gets away with everything, and everyone thinks I'm a fucking bitch, guys. Double standards. It's true.
Yeah, probably.
God, even gay men, you know, thought it was a man's world. Even gay men fucking rule the goddamn world.
Oh, God damn. Where's you be bitter as hell. You've been having some bitter tea today, I guess.
See, a comment like that, if I said it,
Yeah. Everyone in the comment section will be like, Rose is so mean to Daniel. And then
okay, if I said that to anyone, that would sound a lot more bitchy.
say it.
Well, I guess I am kind of bitchy.
Just say it, Rose.
Oh, wait, what did you say?
I said,
oh,
well,
are you, someone's drinking some bitter tea today.
It does sound meaner when you say it, though.
It's true, guys. So next time you're thinking, wow, Rose is a bitch, take a step back and say, what if this came from a gay man's mouth?
Yep.
You'd be like, oh, funny.
Slay.
Slay queen. Yes. Yes, bitch.
I don't know where that yas bitch came from.
I don't know, but it's
like,
hilarious.
It is. Like when
yeah,
people
and
like,
it's not yas bitch, it's yas batch.
yeah, batch.
Batch.
It's not bitch, it's batch.
Batch. It has to be batch.
Yeah.
I like to be a batch, not a bitch.
Yeah, a batch. But yeah, shall we get into some stories?
Let us do it.
Okay. So,
What's story number 1, Daniel?
story number 1.
Lay it on me.
Are you ready for this?
Nari.
Have you heard about this?
Oh my God, I've heard about it, but although I haven't read into it. Oh my God, guys, I haven't read the news in what feels like years.
It's it's not like a situation because I've read a couple articles about this. Like I read a different one. Like I mean, this article seemed a little bit more scaremongering because like the title basically is monkeypox outbreaks in Canada and worldwide signal shift in behavior of the monkeypox virus. Apparently,
Have you even heard of monkeypox?
never. I've never heard of monkeypox.
God.
So
I assume it comes from monkeys?
I think so.
Okay, let's see.
And it's just like, as the world races to understand more about the rapidly emerging monkeypox outbreaks, the speed in which cases are being discovered signals a major shift in the behavior of the virus and its ability to spread from person to person unnoticed. So 5 cases were confirmed in Quebec in Canada, and a couple dozen possible other cases.
So like what happens? Okay, let's see. West and Central Africa. No, wait, here we go. The World Health Organization said there are currently 80 confirmed cases worldwide. Is this like newsworthy?
I don't know. Like the reason I wanted to talk about it was more so not specifically about like monkeypox per se, but I have heard people talking about it. Like,
Yeah,
like,
I've
oh
heard
goddamn,
it.
there'd be a monkeypox outbreak and all this shit, and I was like, okay. And then like,
But it's 80 cases. Like, is that a lot?
but it could grow, right?
Like, does it
Spread easily.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have to be in close contact with that person,
Right.
And you get like pox, like weird rashes inside your mouth and on your hands.
Ew,
and
you guys.
But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because like because COVID's not gone, right? Like we're still like dealing with COVID and everything else, although restrictions in a lot of places have gone down to like pretty much nothing. But I guess it like just begs to question like
what's next?
What is next? And what are we as a society doing to try to like, and maybe there's stuff that people are doing. I'm sure there's like some action being taken, but I just feel like, you know, we're hearing about, okay, monkeypox and, you know, what's next? Like the way that we're like living as a society is like not sustainable.
I know. What are we going to do?
Like, it's just like, there's not going to be like, it's just, this is just going to be ongoing. Do you know what I mean? There's just going to be more viruses and more and more. And it's like, when do we start to take action to try to like prevent it?
I don't think we will, Daniel. I think I don't know. I honestly, like, we're not changed. I don't think anything's changed.
I think that they still, for example, they still don't know exactly with the coronavirus because they said it came from like a bat or something in one of like China's like wet markets.
Sure.
Where they have like a lot of like illegal animals and all kinds of stuff in there. Like, or
like wild animals or
wild
something.
animals.
Exotic animals.
Exactly.
There's the
word. They say though, like honestly, like when this COVID was happening, I remember like watching and we watched that.
God,
like,
what a crazy time. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago?
It's so weird.
Like watching those doctor interviews.
Yeah.
That was like a couple years ago.
Your favorite, the Korean doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is like they talk about this and they said, okay, look, all of these viruses that are coming out, they're like zoological viruses, which are like transmitted from animals to people. And they're saying like the more contact and overlap that we have with animals, the more chances of these viruses to happen, right? Yeah. It's just like an inevitable kind of thing. And as we're like growing and expanding, our cities are like moving into wildlife territory. We're starting to get like more interactions. And not only on that side, it's also with the factory farming, right?
Yeah.
Because they said like factory farming is like a cesspool for viruses, right? So it's just a matter of time. And I don't think the factory farming stopped. Like it's not like that stopped and the wet markets are still going on.
Well,
like,
they're saying that we're already used to like with factory farming. I mean, I'm obviously 100% against it, but like it's not as dangerous because we're already like used to these animals.
Well, but I heard if the factory farm is close to like a jungle or something,
right,
the viruses can go from animal to animal,
right, and
then fester in there,
right,
and then it comes to us.
Yeah. Well, people fucking go vegan.
God damn. So it's just like another story where it's like, let's see what happens with this monkeypox. Maybe it's gonna be something really small that just like goes away.
But it's like, even if this monkeypox goes away, you know, there's other viruses that are probably not going to go away. Yeah. Like the doctor said, he said it usually happens every 4 years nowadays. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as things are, you know, we're getting more and more like intertwined in this world, it's going to keep happening. I don't know. But, you know, the question is, what's going to get us first, a pandemic or global warming?
Well, we're teetering on this is the scary thing, guys. Like,
my money's on global warming.
Is it?
I don't know, actually.
God damn, these pandemics be crazy as hell, Rose, as well.
I know, it's so fucking crazy.
Like, it kind of freaks me out that there's like tons of like unknown viruses. Like here's
the thing with the pandemic now. I think it was back in the day when it was like Spanish flu and all this shit, because there was like not enough information that could spread really fast. People died and probably didn't even know what they had, you know? Yeah. Because there was no internet, anything like that. Yeah. But I think the only reason why pandemics can somewhat controlled, not even contained, because look at COVID, right? Yeah. It still killed so many people. But like, could it wipe out like so much of the world population like previous pandemics did? I don't think so. Not as fast, just because we have the information. That's why I think global warming will get us first. Yeah. As in like our entire population, compared to like pandemics still kill like millions of people, but maybe not wipe out like a quarter of the human population.
Yeah. Whereas global warming could easily.
I think so. I don't fucking know.
Well, if you think there's some, because if global warming is going to increase the number of like natural disasters and stuff, right? And flooding and all of that kind of stuff, like there's going to be some serious. Anyway, there's going to be some serious fucked
depressing
up shit.
God, I don't know, man. Well, here's the thing: we don't even know though. Like even in the last like 20 years or something, the number of natural disasters we've had. You know, it's hard to know exactly, like this was definitely because of global warming, right? Yeah. So,
but that's why there's so many people that like are against not against
it, but
they're
you
like,
could just say it's random.
Yeah. Or like, you know, for example, like last summer was like the record hottest summer that we've ever had. Right. But then people are like, well, no, there was one time in 2020 that the temperature hit 37 degrees. So it's not global warming. Like
Right.
you could do that. Like, or you could say like, oh, well, hurricanes have been around for centuries. You know,
Exactly.
like I don't know.
I know.
It's a tough one, but
You could explain away anything,
You can
basically,
try to.
when it comes to something that is hard to explain, right? Anyway.
and I think also depending on where you live, like people are starting to see the impacts of global warming, but again, like you said, you can kind of explain some of it away.
Yeah.
Like for us, for example, like we do get pretty nice summers. So if it's like an extra hot summer, we're not necessarily going to be like, this is
Right,
attributed to
of
global
course.
warming. Or if we get like, we historically have had some milder winters, and we wouldn't say, hey, this winter's mild because
Right.
of like global warming. But I do feel like overall the trend seems to be our summers are getting hotter and our
Yes.
winters are not as harsh.
And also we have to, even if we don't necessarily see it firsthand, it's like scientists know that overall our global temperature is rising higher in a faster rate than it ever has.
Yeah.
So it is actually proven. It's just like for us, it's hard to get like an anecdote because
Yeah.
like we're just fucking, we don't know anything.
And I think it's just hard with that too, though, because it's like it's hard, especially if you're living in an area where you don't really have a lot of natural disasters.
Yeah.
It's really hard to like. It's like that whole concept of like out of sight, out of mind, which I feel like
Yes.
it's a lot like that with factory farming and all that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
all of that happens away from where we are.
Yeah.
So it's easier for us to like normalize what's happening.
Exactly. Especially because like when it comes to global warming, a lot of places that are impacted are like, developing countries or, like little islands, like, like shit like that, like different parts that aren't doing the most damage. Like North America is doing probably the most like damage to when it comes to global warming. Yet all these other countries are being more impacted.
It's like I watched this, I think it was on Netflix, this like documentary that was talking about trash. And how trash
Okay.
is like such a big problem.
Oh,
And actually a lot of
yeah.
places, like I think it was China. And
I
don't
think
quote
you
me on this.
explained this like a few years ago. You watched it a few years ago, right?
And they were like, the US was like selling their garbage to
I can't believe.
and then China was like burning it or something. And then basically at one point I guess people were complaining of the smog and all this kind of stuff, and eventually the government's like, okay, we can't do this anymore. So now it's like going to like
Malaysia, I think? Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God. And they're doing like a similar kind of thing. It's like the problem, it doesn't go away by pushing it over somewhere else,
I
right? Like if
know.
we're in the same room and there's like something's burning, right? And
Yeah.
I'm scared of it burning, and I'm like, shit, I'm just gonna pass it over to Rose. But we're still in the same room, like we're fucked either way. Like,
but because I think it's so easy to, think about it. Nobody thinks about where the garbage goes or where the recycling goes. Think about it. Like the amount of trash that one person produces, like it's insane,
Yeah.
right? Like even in just my one person household, the amount of recycling and the, just trash, I'm like, and then you think about it, you're like, where does it go?
yeah,
Like I know there's a landfill somewhere. How many of us have been to one?
I went once.
God damn, what it be like?
Yeah, it was not nice. Roses.
And then you don't know where that goes and like what. It's crazy. The entire systems that we've created is insane.
It is crazy. It is actually crazy. Like
Like in some ways, it's a bit like, like I don't want to say admirable, but it's like, holy shit, how did anyone create the system? But in so many ways, you're like, this is kind of fucked.
100%.
Anyways, so monkeypox, guys. Beware of monkeypox. Is it deadly?
I think you just get sick. I don't know if you're gonna die
Okay.
from it, but it's like you get sick, you get a horrible rash, all this kind of stuff. Oh, the two main strains, is monkeypox mutating? I guess there's two main strains of it. There's the Congo strain.
Oh, it's pretty deadly.
Oh my God, it is pretty
It's-
deadly.
The Congo strain is more severe with 10% mortality.
Holy fuck.
That's high. And the West African strain, which has a fatality rate of about 1%, that's higher than COVID.
Yeah.
It's pretty serious.
Oh.
So God damn. It says it can result from close contact with respiratory secretions or skin lesions of an infected person or from recently contaminated objects. Symptoms can include fever, intense headache, swelling of the lymph nodes, back pain, muscle aches, lack of energy, severe rashes, and lesions. So almost like COVID, but with rashes and lesions.
Yeah.
Fun!
Fun times, guys.
Fun times!
But the good news is apparently the strain that seems to be going around globally right now is the West African one with the lower mortality rates. So
God damn.
be scary as hell.
Seriously, it's actually so scary.
Anyway,
But we're just a bunch of cells.
we are.
So Who cares?
It's crazy when you think about that. Like, I don't want to think like that. Kind of trips me out when I start thinking like
totally.
our whole body's just all a bunch of cells like put together.
We're just a bunch of like
so
just
we're like
clumps
floating
of cells.
though. We're like kind of floating inside of ourselves.
Oh, God damn, Daniel. That'd be.
I think I might have had a little bit too much weed on the walk here. No, I'm just kidding, guys.
Oh God, oh my God.
Did you hear about this?
Guys. This story makes me so like it makes me laugh.
Are you kind of siding with Dr. Jordan, or are you siding with?
Well, first let's tell our audience. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow anyway, I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time you guys spend on the internet, but there is a dude named Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Peterson is a very interesting character.
Yeah. He's Canadian.
He is Canadian. Did we talk about him on the show?
No, not yet.
Oh, really?
I don't think we had, because when I read this article, it's the first time I've heard of his
Oh,
name.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've known about this guy for a long time. So Jordan
I think
Peterson.
He does YouTube as well.
Yeah, he's actually quite famous.
Yeah.
And he got famous. So first of all, he was like a professor at U of T or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he was some kind of psychology professor.
The University of Toronto, for those that aren't in the know.
Oh, there you go, Daniel.
Yeah.
Good job. You're getting better.
Got to pick up your slack, you know. Anyway.
So Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
So he was a professor, and he got famous because he actually, I guess like a few years ago, when Canada was trying to pass some law that said something about discrimination against trans people. I don't know the exact story, but basically the law was something like, you know, you have to use the right pronouns or something like that. And he was saying how people are going to start going to jail because people are not using the right pronouns. So I think he was exaggerating a little bit. But then maybe the law was also, I don't know. Okay, I don't know the full details. So he came out and basically was like, I don't want my language to be like, you know, what do you call it? Like legislated or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then because of that, a lot of trans people were they didn't like him. Yeah. So then there was like a huge thing on the campus. And this was during the time a few years ago when it was very like, the whole anti-woke culture started becoming like a big thing. A lot of people started calling people snowflakes and stuff. So that was like during the time when that was like a very big, you know, like a popular selling point. If you were like anti-woke, you were like seen as like a, you know, what do you call it? You were respected. Okay. Because people are like, this woke stuff is a bit crazy. Mm-hmm. So he got very famous because of that.
Because he's anti-woke.
Yes. Yeah. And then he wrote a book, like a self-help book. Yeah. I tried reading it. It was the most boring shit I've ever fucking read in my life. Couldn't get through it. I don't know how I feel about him. I personally don't. I think he's a little bit full of shit. Yeah. Or maybe a lot full of shit.
I don't know. Like I said, this is the first I've ever heard of him.
So anyways, the reason why he's in the news right now is because...
What happened, Rose? You tell us.
Okay, like, he's so... Anyway, he wrote on Twitter, okay, that... So he retweeted or posted a photo of a swimsuit cover, Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover, you know, photo of a plus-size model. Her name is Yumi New. Mm-hmm. And she's like wearing a swimsuit, and she was in the cover of Sports Illustrated. Like, who the fuck buys magazines? I don't know.
I'm surprised magazines are still around.
Honestly, who buys magazines?
I remember when I was a kid, I would buy them. Like sometimes, right? But like now, it's like I would never buy a magazine. If I see a story on a magazine, I'm Googling it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying that shit.
But they're like everywhere still.
I don't know how.
Anyway,
they're in
it's stupid. Yeah. Anyway, it's a non-story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She was on the cover. Obviously, the whole plus size movement, it's big right now. He retweets it or posts it, and he says,
there, Rose. Hey.
What? What did I say?
You said the
plus size movement is pretty big right now. Literally, no pun intended.
Yeah. Just the way you said it so casually. You were like, yeah, the plus size movement, it's really big right now.
So he tweeted this photo and was like, sorry. Wait, what's the quote?
I'll tell you what he said.
Let's do the exact quote.
Yeah. So he put,
sorry.
No, hang on.
No, I found it.
Oh, shit.
He put, sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So we've talked about this in detail before, like with, you know, mixed reviews from the audience as well. But like, because there was that whole controversy with Lizzo and a few other like plus size
right artists
and things. And my feeling about this is kind of the same, and I don't know how, like, I'll kind of explain my like thought process on this.
Okay.
And then like I want to hear like what your thoughts are. But
Okay.
in my mind, I don't think like we as a society, for example, should be like I don't think that we should be not, I don't want to say promoting, but like if it's like being plus like bigger overall, we know like isn't as healthy, right? Like it's just not. Doctors would tell you like they're going to be like, you need to like lose some weight, all that kind of stuff. But I don't condone somebody saying because somebody is bigger. This is where the mind shift needs to happen, where it's like, that's not okay. Like telling somebody, sorry, you're not beautiful because you're bigger.
Yeah.
That is not okay. Like I think the whole, my concept and the way I think of body positivity is feeling comfortable in your own skin and not being judged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of like, you know, but on the flip side, I don't think that we as a society should say, hey, that's a healthy way of living.
Yeah.
Or that's healthy to be like that, because it's not. But on the same side, we shouldn't condemn people and be like, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
Or you're not beautiful. Like, how horrible is that?
I know, right?
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
I'm on the same page.
yeah, I get like, you know, again, like I think he like, maybe he's like coming at it like at a weird, I don't know, weird angle, but like how awful.
It's so cringe.
It is cringe. Like, and I get it. Like I'm also in the camp of like, I think things are getting a bit too woke and like, you know what I mean? Cause I'm, you know, of that not of that generation, I guess, but like just calling anybody, just like taking anyone's picture and being like, you're not beautiful.
And it's like, okay,
like that is horrible.
Like my point is, I obviously, again, I do believe that, you know, if you're morbidly obese, it's like, you know, not healthy.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're saying that it's healthy. Like, here's the thing. We've had skinny models on magazines for years.
That were too skinny.
That were starving themselves. Mm-hmm. Nobody said a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? People did not give a shit.
Yeah.
And you know, and that was going on for years. Mm-hmm. So I don't think these magazines really are supposed to be promoting healthy people.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
Now we can have a conversation around that, and I think that's completely fine to have a conversation around are these magazines promoting, like if you have a morbidly obese woman on a cover, is that bad? And you know, I would say maybe like especially if
I'm mixed about it.
Yeah, I'm also mixed.
I'm mixed about them, like someone like that being on the cover, only because I think in some ways it helps the body, my idea of the body positivity movement, which is like the way that I like not feel, but like the fact that it makes people feel more comfortable that are like, I don't think anyone should ever feel shit about themselves.
Yes, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's a good thing. Like if you're a bigger person, like you shouldn't feel like shit about yourself. That's not okay. Like you're a beautiful person, all that kind of stuff. Again, but again, I'm like, I'm torn just because I'm like, we all know like it isn't healthy to be like super big, you know?
Yeah. But I think, did you see this photo?
Yeah.
I don't think she was that big.
She's not.
That's the thing. Here's the thing. She's not that big, this woman, okay? I think she could, like, again, we're not talking, I feel like health is kind of like there's a spectrum, right? There's really, really underweight, and then there's like kind of underweight, and then there's kind of overweight, like morbidly obese. We have a spectrum. This woman, let's go to her.
I can't, like,
what is going on with this? Like, she's big, don't get me wrong, but like she's not morbidly overweight, okay? And she is beautiful. Like she looks good, okay? Yeah. She has a beautiful face, and you know what? She looks confident. She looks good. Like, and a lot of people would find this attractive.
Exactly.
A lot of people.
And this is where I'm like, you know what? Actually, in many ways, I think having people like a Yumi New or somebody like this, different people on the covers of the magazines is so much better. And also like we kind of talked about this in the last episode of the podcast, but just even having representation of all what we see in society, all different races, all different shapes and sizes, but also have that reflected in the TV shows and the movies and the, you know, Sports Illustrated magazines. Like this is like more, you know, they on Sports Illustrated, they always have the pictures of like the guys also as well, like six-packed abs, which actually isn't that healthy. And I saw this one, I think there was a TikToker or something that was talking about, he was like 24. And he was like, when he was 21, he was like super shredded, had like no body fat, was like ridiculous. And everyone would look at him and be like, damn, you know? And he was like, because he was so low body fat, his like sex drive was gone. Yeah. He was having erectile dysfunction. Yeah. Because of this. And he was like, how am I a 21-year-old guy having ED? Yeah. Like this is and as soon as he like, he's still in good shape and stuff, but he's not like that shredded. Yeah. Because that's not either healthy either.
That's not healthy either. I know. So I mean, I'm torn as well. Like Okay, first of all, I'm not torn on what he said. I think what he said is fucking stupid.
Oh, and it's horrible.
And it's definitely like, he's a fucking grown ass man. Anyway, this family is very interesting. He has a daughter named Michaela Peterson.
Yeah.
And she follows an all beef diet.
What does that mean?
No vegetables.
She's all beef.
I know. It's like a whole thing. You should, like, if you want to go down a rabbit hole one day, just
Is there
like
a movement of all beef?
Yeah. I know.
There's like, honestly, guys,
don't get me started.
There's like a movement for everything. Like, I know we talked about this in the last episode of the documentary I watched called Our Father. Apparently, a big part of that whole thing was like, there's people out there that are part of this like cult almost, that their whole goal is to like spread their seed.
Oh my God.
Because they want to have as many offspring as possible.
Oh my God.
Like, and I'm like, are these people for real?
I don't know.
And then now I'm hearing that there's an all beef diet. Where you don't eat anything but beef. That sounds horrendous.
I know. But anyway, you can go down the rabbit hole.
I will.
So what he said, and then what happened was, what's funny is because he said that, and the thing is, the fact that he said that is so stupid, because it's like, first of all, you can say something about health and have a discussion if that's something you care about.
Yeah.
But really, you're saying it's not beautiful. And what he's saying is society is trying to tell us what is beautiful and what is not.
Yeah.
And they're trying to force this idea that plus size women are beautiful when apparently they are not.
Which I think, not what he's thinking, but I think the fact that they are promoting plus sizes as being beautiful as well. That's a good thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. There are tons of people that do find plus size to be beautiful. Mm-hmm. There are lots of men, there's a movement, BBW, big, beautiful woman. Have you not heard of it? It's a thing. BBW. Probably shouldn't look it up. It's probably pornographic. I don't know.
There's probably some,
but there's definitely a movement. And there's plenty of men that enjoy that sort of body. Okay. Yeah. And there's feeders. Okay. What I'm saying is beauty is, and then there's people that find really skinny girls attractive, and same with like, women that find certain men attractive, whatever. Of course, there are certain things like, I'm not in fucking La La Land. There are certain kind of universal things that generally, like a general like majority of population might find attractive. For example, there are for sure.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that's everybody, and that doesn't mean that Sports Illustrated cannot put whatever they want on the fucking cover. They're a private company.
Exactly.
Like, it's not the government telling you that you have to like have sex with this woman.
I know.
Why are you crazy?
Like, and so
you're a grown ass man.
I know,
Grow up.
It's just the way that he did it though too. Like,
exactly.
Sorry, this is not beautiful.
And then what's funny is he wrote that shit. He got so much pushback.
Oh yeah.
That he like I don't know if he quit Twitter. He quit
Twitter.
He
quit Twitter for a few weeks, I think.
And then he was like, "Oh my God, I can't handle all these hate comments."
Exactly. Then he came back, and then I think now he's closed his Twitter completely.
The audacity! You can't handle. You call a random woman that literally had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
That she's like in her 20s. Leave her alone.
I think she's like 24, 25.
You're like in your 60s.
I know.
What are you doing?
Like
she's younger than your daughter. You fucking dumbass.
I know. It's so bad, and it's just like, grow up. Like, you're a grown ass man.
Why do you care? And the thing is, also, not to mention, throughout life, throughout society, throughout many years, the idea of beauty shifts, okay?
It does.
Maybe not extreme, but like, and yes, again, there are kind of general, universal, like maybe ideas of beauty that may stay long term, but it does, especially body size, that shifts, quite a lot actually.
Considerably, yeah.
And yeah, like even if I look at, for example, in the 90s, in our lifetime, it shifted. In the 90s, like stick thin girls were deemed like very attractive. Now, if you look at, what's deemed attractive is very curvaceous girls.
Yeah.
And I think I talked about this before, but like, do you remember that like that whole controversy with Jessica Simpson? And when she like went on hiatus for a while, this is like maybe in the beginning, early 2000s. She like, I don't know, went on hiatus for like a while. And then she showed up at some event. She put on a few pounds and the world fucking lost their shit. They were like, oh my gosh, she's fucking fat.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I do remember.
I recently saw a photo of her during that time. She looks normal.
Yeah.
And I even thought, I was like, holy shit, she's fat.
Yeah.
Like, I thought at that time.
Yeah. That was even like, though, remember, I rewatched that 2007 Britney Spears performance, the Give Me More, when she was like.
She'd put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah. And then she wore like a sparkling bikini.
And everyone had a fucking freak out.
And everyone's like, she's done all this weight. She looks horrible. And I looked and I was like, she's like a normal woman.
Like a healthy looking woman.
Yeah.
I know. So that's crazy how even our own perception has shifted. Because again, like, Jessica Simpson, she looked fucking good. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, you look good. Like, you look healthy. Like, you
Yeah.
look good. But then at that time, I was like, damn, she got fat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it shifts.
Yeah.
So for him to say like, oh my God, beauty is like basically what is he saying? He's basically, it's fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an opinion. It's objective. It's not subjective. And he said some crazy shit too. Like he pretends that he's like this really intellectual person.
Yeah.
But he's one of those people that really talks a lot and it never really like
makes any sense.
kind of like he'll use a lot of intellectual language.
Right.
But it's always it's never like it's like, you know, they say smart people can explain things in a very simple way.
Yeah.
He's the opposite. He'll like explain things in the most complicated way. And whenever he talks, I'm like, oh my God, just get to the motherfucking point.
Yeah.
And he'll say stuff like, well, why do women wear lipstick at work? It's because it's a symbol of sex or some shit like that.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I guess he quit Twitter now because he can't handle people telling him that he's being a bully.
He can dish it out, but he can't. This is what I love.
I know.
People on Twitter, and I don't have Twitter. Like
Oh my God,
yeah.
I heard it's not a good place.
It's a very interesting space.
I don't really use it much.
Yeah, I rarely use it. But like I hate this like double standard of when people think, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get onto my YouTube or I'm gonna go onto Twitter. I'm gonna bash somebody.
Yeah.
But then when they get any kind of backlash or consequence of their behavior, they're like, oh my God, I can't handle it. Why is everyone getting so crazy with me?
I
and it's
know.
like, well, why did you feel the need to make that comment?
Yeah, like, why did you feel the need? Exactly.
He could have kept that to himself.
You could have kept them to himself.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, is this a thought that I publicly want everyone to know? And I think taking that moment of self-reflection and just being like, hey, actually, I'm going to revisit this and maybe I won't say that.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I do that myself. Sometimes I'm out with friends and I'm like, do I want to say this? No. You know,
how often do you actually think that?
Probably not that often. But like,
here's the thing. I think that he thought, again, because his audience is very, you know, anti-woke, very, you know, very much in that crowd.
yeah.
You know, he probably thought, oh, everyone's just going to like agree with me. But, you know, you have to realize that other people can see your Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. And
It's on a public forum, guys.
Exactly.
So.
And I don't know. I mean, again, none of these magazines have really cared about the health of the models. I do find it funny, though, that we never see plus size men. I find that funny.
Well, they did say, what about the dad bod? That was kind of like.
Is it really plus size, though?
No, not
like,
really.
when they say dad bod, they're talking like Leonardo DiCaprio with a tiny little pooch. They're not talking like fucking, you know, Homer Simpson belly.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody wants that. Okay, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
I know. There's no body positivity for men.
Apparently
That's
not.
interesting.
There needs to be a movement.
Well, I do think it is obviously different because women have always been judged by their appearance
But so have men.
compared to women.
But not like to the same level. But I think that there's
not
definitely,
even close to being the same level.
But I would definitely say
Oh,
that
there definitely is.
there's societal pressures for sure.
For sure. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that there isn't. I for sure do think there is. But I 100% think for women, it's like tenfold worse.
Yeah.
Because we're all like, that's what we were good for many years. Right?
Birthing the babies.
Birthing babies. Having those childbearing hips.
Those childbearing hips. Oh,
which I don't have. I got no hips.
God damn. I got bigger hips than yours.
You do? It's that BBL, you know? Anyway, moving on to
the what?
BBL? Brazilian butt lift?
Oh, right.
How do you not?
I was like, what? Okay, you know
Daniel,
what?
are you losing your mind?
I am losing my mind.
This is like your saying.
It is my saying. You're right. It is the BBL.
Guys, I think Daniel's losing his mind.
I am. It's the drink.
You've had like a sip.
You know, one thing that was really funny though, like, you know how you mentioned BBW?
A big, beautiful woman.
Yes. When I first moved to the UK,
What did you do, Daniel?
I thought that it was like, I didn't do anything, but I thought it was like really kind of weird, not weird, but like their main like TV station.
BBC?
Yeah. And you know what that is in porn, right?
Oh, I think I know. I think a lot of people know what that means.
Everyone knows. So I always used to like,
It's not just in porn, but it's used quite a bit.
It is. And so I'd always have a chuckle to myself when they're like, have you watched the BBC lately?
Oh my God. I like didn't even make the connection.
Oh,
that
I
BBC
did.
Of course you did.
I did. And I was just like, anytime anyone would be like, oh, did you watch the BBC last night? I was like, no, I didn't. What happened?
I love BBC, you know?
But I just like.
It's my favorite.
I know. But like. Oh no. But yeah, like I that used to always like literally I'd be in the office and it like I would internally though I would try to internally, but like sometimes it would be like my boss or someone being like, "Did you catch that show on the BBC?" And I'll be like,
"Are we immature?"
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely. I was like the whole time. Anytime anyone was talking about the BBC, I was like, "Oh god damn!"
I know.
You know, we actually went to the BBC headquarters.
The actual BBC.
Yes, in Manchester. Oh,
you guys. Anyways,
it's too much, you know.
We are a PG show, guys.
Yeah, this is
continuing on.
PG-18. Is that a thing? PG-18?
No, PG would be parental guidance suggested.
Oh, okay. So it would be
18 plus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus.
So yeah, interesting. Do you think she's pretty?
I think she's really pretty.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, here's the thing. This is not fair. Let me just talk about this for a second. This might be controversial. When I gain 5 pounds, you know where it goes? My face. When I gain 20 pounds, you know where it goes?
Your face.
My face. My stomach, my face, my arms. Some people. Here's another point that's actually important. We all have different body shapes, and we carry our fat differently.
Yeah.
So what looks good, like what weight looks good on one person is very different from the other person.
Oh, 100%.
I think I look good at a lower body weight because where I carry my fat is just not, you know, like it's not nice places.
Yeah.
You know, it's like arms, stomach, face, not boobs or ass, none of that. Okay. So, well, I always found it really annoying when people are like, "Oh my god, we're like changing for a better society. We're like accepting bodies," but really they only show like really curvaceous women, big boobs, big ass. You know, like I remember when we were teenagers is when like kind of we started talking about like, you know, Beyonce was kind of popular, and she had like a giant fucking ass. You know, J-Lo, and I mean they had a giant ass for that time. Okay, now it's, you know, a normal ass. Apparently.
Now it's considered like probably a small ass these days.
Exactly.
All these BBLs going on.
But then they were like, "Oh my god, they're so like, you know, it's so great because finally we're seeing curvy women. You know, real women are curvy." Remember that saying? That was really annoying.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Bitch, I'm not skinny or curvy. So what the fuck am I?" That was toxic because I'm like, okay, well, you're not really body positive because you're only showing women that A, are like fucking beautiful in the face, have no fat in the face. That's another thing. She has no fat on her face. If you just cover her body, it looks like she could be 120 pounds, 200 pounds, anything. If I weighed what she weighs, my face would be 3 times the size. Anyways.
Yeah.
So anyway, am I for these? Do I think? Oh, here's what I'll say. Magazines are trying to sell magazines, even though nobody buys magazines. So who the fuck is buying magazines?
Honestly, I really don't know who is buying
like
them.
literally.
At this point, I'm like, who actually is buying magazines?
I don't understand. Okay. Anyways, they're trying to sell magazines. They don't give a shit. Okay. So it's not some kind of, ooh, like we're changing the world. I mean, do I think it's a little better than having the really skinny people only? Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
But do I think it's, you know, fucking, you know, world changing and
groundbreaking.
Oh my god, groundbreaking, we should be applauding? No, I don't, because until you see, because all these like body positive models are still fucking gorgeous. So yeah, they are still following a beauty standard.
They are, yeah.
So like, and that's the point of models. So it's fine. Their job is to look pretty, but let's not pretend that they're representing everyone here. Is what I'm saying. And they probably airbrushed her, you know, cellulite and stuff.
Oh yeah, they airbrush the shit out of everyone.
It looks like she has a little bit of cellulite, but she probably has more. Anyway, I don't know what my point was.
You drunk as hell?
No, I'm not drunk. I drink like half. I just wanted to complain for a second because it's not fair that she's, you know, she looks gorgeous with, you know, her weight on, and I don't look good with
But I think that's because I also gain weight in weird places. Like mostly whenever I gain weight, it's like in my stomach.
Yeah, but you don't gain it on your face. That's not fair. Seriously,
I gain
guys,
a little bit on my face.
I swear, I eat 1 bowl extra of rice, and the next day it shows up on my face. I'm not joking. Anyways, let me have.
Okay. Enjoy your beverage there, Rose. God, I'm scared for later. The more drinks Rose has, the more savage she gets. So.
You mean sassy, Danielle?
Oh yeah, sassy. Oh yeah, yes, bitch, slay queen.
Slay queen.
Oh my god, you're just so sassy.
Oh my, I am.
You're like, no, I'm just a bitch. No.
I'm now identifying as a gay man.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great.
So I'm no longer a bitch. I'm just a bitch.
A bitch.
What's the next story?
Well, I actually watched. I think it came up on my YouTube or something. But do you remember that guy that like identified as Korean?
Oh God.
He was like being interviewed, and this lady was interviewing him.
I think I saw a clip of that.
Yeah, and it was so cringy.
Okay, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about a guy named Ollie. basically, is he a guy?
Well, I'm not sure what
Anyway.
pronouns to use. Maybe they.
They are. I still am not used to using the they pronoun, but
Yeah.
they are British, and then
And they went on a really fun trip to Korea.
it was like
one time.
I identify as Korean.
Came back and was like, you know what? I'm Korean now.
So fucking stupid.
So, and then the person that was interviewing him was like,
A black woman.
It was a black woman, and she was like, it's not fair because, well, it's not that it's not fair, but she's like, I couldn't just like say that I'm a different race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which
And-
kind of makes sense.
And I can't. You as a white person have certain privileges where we don't. You know. And she was like, you can't just like pick a race.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I say just don't give him publicity because I think it's a publicity stunt. And I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. If he wants to call himself Korean and live in his own fantasy world, like he can.
Yeah.
But like nobody takes him seriously.
It was like that lady that was in the U.S. that had all the controversy, Rachel something, and she was like that white lady that was claiming to be black.
Oh.
And she said she identified as a person of like a person of color.
Okay, listen. If white people start doing this, just ignore it. I know we talked about it and stuff because I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I think the black lady made a good point. The one that was talking to the Ollie guy, because she said like, it's not like I can just be like, hey, I'm white, you know, because like people don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. And she's like, even if I did do that, I wouldn't get all the privileges that come with being a white person.
Right.
Like, it's, yeah.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Interesting. Well, there's one more story, Rose, but it's not actually that interesting. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Have you heard about this crisis that they're having?
Yeah, I heard about this, but
about
like
the baby formula
shortage.
Yeah.
People, why? Just in time for Roe v. Wade to overturn.
Well, this is what I was just... That's part of the reason why I like this. Well, I don't like this story, but I was like, oh, it kind of ties in with what we were talking about just a couple of weeks ago. And I guess the U.S., well, it's not just the U.S. I think it's actually global because I think Canada was having issues as well. But the U.S. continues to grapple with a nationwide infant formula shortage this week.
What's in baby formula?
I'm not sure, but there's like a lot of different stuff in it.
Like it's like the powder shit, right? That you like put it in like water.
And actually, from what I've heard, and I know that some women they have to use formula.
Yeah, but it's not really good for you.
It's not good
is
for the
it?
baby. Like so, actually, if you're able to breastfeed, it's so much better.
They
for
say
them.
it's better, but yeah, the problem is I think a lot of women can't breastfeed, or they don't produce enough, and I think this has been always the case.
Yeah.
But then can you make baby formula?
You can pump.
Yeah, but like, can you like make it out of non-boob?
Oh, like, well, that's what the powder is.
I know, but can you make it at home? Like,
that's a good question.
Like, that's what I mean. Like,
I don't know.
Can you make homemade baby formula?
Because I know you can make homemade baby food.
Exactly, but then so can you like blend it? I don't know. Fucking hell.
Who knows? I don't know. But like again, like they just said, like it's not great, but like it's not great for the baby. But if you have to do it, obviously there's no other choice.
Yeah.
But
and a lot of women they rely on it.
Exactly. Like some women, they just can't breastfeed. Like
I know
some of them
a lot of women can't. Yeah.
It's like a big thing. Like sometimes the babies don't attach properly to the nipples.
Yeah.
Or also like I know from previous discussions
experience?
from my
from my nipulars
from when I had my twins. That one of them was biting the nipple and I couldn't breastfeed. It was just raw, you know? But the interesting thing is like right around the time they overthrow.
I don't think they've actually overturned it yet, have they?
I don't know if it's official.
I don't think so.
It's in discussion.
I know, we're still talking about it.
Those were leaked court documents,
those were
right?
leaked documents. We're still talking about it.
So, but apparently, guys, the U.S., so on Wednesday, President Biden invoked the Defense Production Act to force suppliers to prioritize production of infant formula.
Why are we out of infant formula? I'm so confused.
I know. He also authorized the Pentagon to use commercial flights to import supplies from abroad.
Oh, so this is what happened. The shortfall dates back to a recall in February after possible contamination at Sturgis, Michigan, factory owned by Abbott Nutrition, the maker of Similac. What are these fucking names? Similac and other popular brands of baby formula.
Well, we wouldn't know, Rose, because we don't have kids.
I know. Well, this is the issue, right? When you have like one giant corporations making these formulas, A, do we trust them? And B, if there's like one contamination in one company, it fucking recalls everything. This is the problem with monopolies and having only a few companies doing everything. Because once there's a fucking problem like this, which is like literally like, you know, you got to feed the babies.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge fucking issue.
It's crazy. It's kind of like we talked about this before too in city designs, right? And one of the things I thought was really interesting, which I never thought about, kind of similar concept, but if you have like a flagship store or like a really big, like huge store, like a Safeway or a Walmart or something like this, if God forbid that store went out of business, it takes much longer to find a retailer that's going to fill that space than if it was chopped up into like 100 different stores. Because then in those 100 different stores, maybe only one goes out of business or two, but then you can get another retailer in there quite quickly.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here. You have one company or you have a company that's like doing a lot of production, then it can cause these like ripple effects in that industry.
Yeah, I can't
believe. Because it sounds like it's just like one factory.
Yeah, like,
in
and
Michigan.
that caused like this problem. Yeah, I guess it was. Well, apparently it had potentially lethal bacteria.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking scary. Imagine giving your baby that.
Oh my God, it's so scary.
This is the other problem. You don't know what's in your fucking baby formula.
It's crazy.
I think back in the day, like there were certain women that would produce lots of milk. So then they would actually be, this is what I heard in Korea, I think, like, and I'm sure other places.
Would they be milk givers?
Yeah. So they would, like, if there's other babies in the neighborhood, they would, like, give milk.
And they just pump it.
Well, I don't know if they had pumps at that time, but like they would breastfeed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes sense because like, at that time, I don't know how much baby formula like was around.
Exactly. And if you weren't producing enough yourself, your baby could die.
Exactly. Which is probably why back in the day, before we had baby formula, we had potentially higher infant mortality rate. Potentially. Yeah. That could be, so baby formula is necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. But also it's kind of scary that, 2 infants in Ohio died from some infection because of the baby formula.
The Chronobacter infection.
God damn. What the hell?
It'd be scary as hell.
That's scary. Imagine being like, I would be so scared to have a baby. Because I'm like, this is like a little fucking life.
I know.
And they're so dependent on you for like the first like 10 years, if not longer, of your life. Like, so dependent.
We are the only animal like in the world where our babies are basically like pretty much useless until they're
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh my God, humans, we're so great. But like for the first 10 years of our lives, we're basically useless. And we need our parents to survive. Like,
yeah,
it's actually crazy.
There's only one other mammal that their baby stays with them for quite a long time. Well, not quite a long time, but like some animals, they keep a family group.
What's the other mammal?
It's
our favorite. Can you not?
It's an orangutan. So apparently their babies are like quite helpless for quite a while, and they don't actually leave their parents, their mom, until they're about, I think it's like 6 or 7 years old.
Well, they're very similar to us, which is probably why they do fucking grotesque things.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I saw monkeys fucking?
When?
When I was in Africa, not at the zoo.
Oh.
We were, I was doing a safari tour. And I think we had just gotten out of Serengeti, and we were in this like, I don't know, this other like really amazing area.
Yeah.
And then we were like driving around. We're in this safari Jeep. You guys know what I'm talking about. And we're like turning a corner. And these 2 monkeys were just going at it. And then when they saw us, they stopped.
It's like they
have
caught.
shame. Yeah.
They were like,
yeah. They were like, oh shit. They have shame. I'm telling you.
God damn.
Anyways,
yeah.
it was a great moment. I also saw an elephant penis.
Yeah.
It was fucking gigantic.
Yeah. Well, a lot of animals, they need bigger ones because like the way that they reproduce, they're like
oh God,
far
it's honestly
from the area. So yeah.
But I never did I think I would see an elephant penis. It was huge.
Yeah.
And it was like moving.
God.
Well, apparently they usually tuck it. It's like
Yeah.
not shown. That's why you most of us don't see an elephant penis.
Yeah.
But this one was just, flapping about.
Flapping in the wind, just living its best life.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
anyway, so yeah, humans are kind of useless in that way.
Well, they are.
We literally cannot survive until like, we're much older.
Well, and imagine if we were in the wild. Like our infants, like again,
right.
up until about probably like, because I think you think about kids, like maybe like 8 or 9, they might be able to fend for themselves.
Well, or maybe is it because our lifetime is so long compared to other animals?
Yeah.
Because like other mammals as well, or like other animals, they do stay with their parents for like a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
But
like think
their
about,
lifetime is also much shorter than us.
Yeah, but then some animals, like they say, have the similar like lifespans. Like there's some.
Right.
But like I think killer whales and stuff like they, for example, like
But are they independent after? I guess they swim right away.
They have to swim right away.
Yeah, our babies are like, they're just like, little lumps.
Exactly, because I don't know that there's that many animals. I don't think there's any other animals where their babies are born
and they like can't do anything.
And literally, like maybe, I don't know.
What about monkeys? What happens to monkeys?
Well, they cling to their mom and they're like holding on to them.
But are they like can they like
walk
do they
right
just
away?
lay there?
I don't think so. I think they get up and walk right away.
Daniel, you're my National Geographic.
Like it's like amazing. Like for example, like a zebra or like
they just get up right away.
Yeah, they like
even
literally.
A cow.
Yeah, they literally start walking within minutes of being born. But they
seriously?
have to. They have to be able to start running right away because in case there's a predator.
But then we were in the wild for a certain point.
Yeah.
When we were evolving.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, obviously we've devolved.
I guess the way that we evolved was learning how to live, even though I don't know, fucking hell.
We
developed like fire and shit.
Yeah.
We used our brain, I guess.
Yeah, to survive.
Instead of like, I don't know.
God damn, if we were in the wild now, we'd be fucked.
Oh, we'd be fucked. We would die, all of us, immediately.
Pretty much.
We're like, how do we start a fire?
God damn.
My God.
And on that positive note, guys.
Are we over? Is this over?
This is over. We're over, Rose.
Over, Daniel. I'm not even done my drink.
I know. Well, and you guys, for the month of June, we are over.
You guys were breaking. We just needed a break.
Yeah, we need a break. So we're taking the month off. We're on holidays, but
no. Well, we're coming back next week, right?
Yeah,
are we coming back? We're doing one more.
Yeah.
Well, if you're listening to the public episode, you'll still get an episode in June.
Yeah.
But it'll be a break, and I think I mentioned this last time, but the first episode back in season 2 of the SaVeg podcast,
season 2, guys,
will be a solo episode featuring me.
Oh god damn!
So feel free to, not listen.
Send your questions.
Send your question. Like I need to know what you want me to talk about because I don't really know how I'm gonna, just be by myself.
God damn!
I'll be codependent.
This. God damn.
So I'm gonna have to film it alone. So if there's anything you want to know, I don't know, the life of a YouTuber,
a YouTube sensation.
I don't know, advice.
How your trip to the UK was?
Yeah, I can talk about the UK. Just let me know. Life advice, discussions of life.
Are you gonna go to Temple of Satan?
Oh, I'm gonna eat
Get that
so
mac
much.
And cheese.
Oh my god, I need to eat only salad until that. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm excited. There's like a place in Newcastle that's opened up and it looks so good.
Oh my god, I can't wait to eat.
It's like they do like vegan sushi, so I'm gonna go there for sure. And then there's a local pub that I used to go to called the Ship, and they do like it's an all vegan menu.
Oh my god.
And it's so good. They had like at one point they had this like it was like this wrap, this like grilled quesadilla thing with like peanut butter and like sweet potato and like some other delicious stuff, and it was fucking good.
Oh my god, I can't wait because the UK, they've really stepped up the London. Oh my god, they've really stepped up the vegan game. So I'm very excited. There's all these new places I haven't heard of that I want to try.
Yeah.
So let me know if you guys are in the UK. Let me know if you have any suggestions.
You should do
in London.
You should do Vegan Veggie 222, that one.
Are they still open?
I think so.
God damn, I don't know what's
that
close.
One was so good.
That place was really good. Yeah, I remember, like, again, it's been so long since I was there. Well, I guess I was there 3 years ago, but it's a long time since I lived there.
Yeah.
But when I lived there, I remember, Veggie Vegan 222 was so good. And then
really
there was Manna was pretty good, kind of like high end. Not like the best, but it was pretty good.
I liked a lot of like pop-ups though. Like I liked what was it called? Jake's Vegan Steaks.
Yes.
Was good.
That place, are they still around?
I think so. They partnered with when I was there last, they had partnered with this pub. So like I got to go to this like pub and they like did serve their food basically.
Oh, and they also there's a vegan pizza place called Purezza. Do you remember?
I never went there.
I'm pretty sure you and I went there together.
Did we?
Did we not?
I don't think so. I don't recall going.
We met like a YouTuber guy.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my
okay,
god.
Yeah, we did go. Oh my god.
You know what? I'm done. We're over. Bye.
So speaking of YouTubers, you guys have to check out our Patreon to see what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk some shit.
So
and you can so check out our Patreon. You can listen to the bonus episode or watch the bonus episode. Other perks include no ads. and you also get the episodes a week earlier than everybody else.
Yep.
So you get it in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
And join the family.
Exactly. Subscribe on YouTube, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. Show us some love in the comment section.
Make sure you follow us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Give us a little rating. Okay. It helps us. Tell your friends. Tell your mom.
5 stars.
5 stars.
Tell your friends. Tell your moms. They're getting everyone out here.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.